I know what you're thinking, it's the weekend, so it wouldn't be the weekend. We've headed to a Retro Robbins show, and here I am, coming up on today's Retro Robbins show. We're going to be talking Crash, but not too much. No spoiler alerts here, because I'm not going to reveal too much. We're going to have a look at some new games, and we're going to re-review some old games. And also, we're going to have another round of Commodore versus Spectrum. So join me next on Space Retro, and this one won't crash land. It might not take off. Total time! My precious. Hello and welcome to the Retro Robbins show with me, Wayne. In here, it's finally arrived. And my address you can probably see, but I don't care. So send me some money if you like. I doubt that'll happen. Here's the Crash magazine, and we're gonna have a look through it a little bit and not talk too much about it in case you haven't had a chance to read yours yet. But unfortunately, the cover has already been shown a few times on a few social medias, but I'm not going to show it, so don't worry, there's going to be no spoilers here. What I can tell you is we're going to review a couple of games that we reviewed in it and have a look. I'm not going to obviously give you the ratings because that would spoil your magazine for you, and I'm not in the business to do that, but I am in the business to have a look at retro games and compare them. Also, we're going to re-review some more games from, well, this one, and we're going to have another round of Commodore versus Spectrum. Cool. So the first game I'm going to review today, and of course it's got the hex screen, so let's quit that. I've just been doing a little bit of checking up on this program, seeing how it works, seeing its functions in action, and I wasn't disappointed. It was very good. Right, return. So the game we're going to walk out today is this one, and 2019. It's probably been reviewed before, but not by me, so let's give it the Retro Robbins treatment. First question to ask you is, do you want English or Spanish? I don't speak Spanish. So, you know, I'm hard enough to understand in English. Yum yum is a language all of its own. And this of course has sound. So I'm going to pause the AY sound. Oh. And hopefully you can hear that in the background. I can quite clearly. I'll turn it up to its tone. Or the Bare Bones YouTube channel of Retro. $75 should do it. Right, nice looking opening screen, and of course you can redefine your keys, which we'll do that first of all, and we can just start the game. And what is interestingly clever, if you look at that picture, we'll just enlarge the screen for you. And you can see there's more than two colours in that graphical character there, and you're thinking, well, paper and ink's all you're allowed. There's a little trick that they use, and I've sort of worked out what it is they've done. It's like a little Manic Miner game, and effectively it is kind of like a clone of Manic Miner, but with a Mario brother instead of Manic Miner himself. And of course in this game you can also change the sound. Oh, died. So I thought I'd put the Manic Miner sound on. Of course if you die it will keep to the sound that you've changed. Got to make a professional job of this now and just get through the first screen. So yeah, it moves quite smoothly, not the fastest. Very clever use of the colours though, isn't it? Little trick here, just stand underneath it, then you ain't got to worry about colliding with him. I know he's changed suits, he's into a green suit now. But once again, you've got sort of 4 colours in the attributes running off. And I think that's a maximum of 4 colours. And I'll explain to you how they've done that, because it took me a long time to think, how have they got more than, you know what, because I am actually today's computer of choice. Is my toasty rack. Oh dear. We're all doomed. I'm lucky to survive that, aren't I? Oh. I'm sure you can do better than this. Being hopeless at games is part of my show, and it's probably an integral part of my show at the moment because... Oh, come on. So, what can I say about the game? Well, graphically I thought it was brilliant. It does feel like a Nintendo sort of game. Probably not running quite as smooth as Nintendo, but the character itself was excellent bit of graphics in running across there. So how have they done that? I'll explain to you. All it is, it's clever. What you're seeing is 2 graphical characters, but flicking between the 2 quite fast. Ink and paper changing quite fast to give that sort of effect. So if I was to actually pause the screen in action, which I'll do in a minute, he will either be only one, he'll either be 2 colours or the other 2 colours. In fact, the entire game's sort of doing like that in a way. And I'll show you what I mean now. So if I can get past that second level. He'll change to his green costume sometimes. There you go. Green, white and blue. So, I'll tell you what we'll do. When we die, and you see him in the... which we'll do now. I'm sorry, I'm committing suicide for him. Now I'm going to pause it. You see how he's changed colour? He's just 2 colours. Return. Yeah, it's going to crash this time. No. It's just sort of flicking between the 2 colours, so that's the way they've done that. So what am I going to give that game? I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. What did Crash give that game? I'm not going to tell you. That's for you to find out if you're a backer. So let's move on to the next game of today. So I'm going to change computers now. I've changed from the toast rack, which was for the first game, just so as I could put the multi-face in. And let's put some sound on, shall we? We're going to move into the next game of today, which I've had a look at and enjoyed it. And it's called Mr. Do, also reviewed in the latest Crash Annual. Without spoiling it too much for you, there's your loading screen. And the great thing is you can define the keys on this, which we love. So it's a basic, similar to Boulder Dash, but this one obviously has got a bit more. Oh, I got hit by my own falling pot. Yeah, you've just got to go around the screen, collecting all the cherries or collecting all the objects, which it's not hard to work out. Oh no. I've left a lone cherry right there. Gotcha. They catch up with you, don't they? I ain't having it that. I'm having another go. Sorry. This time I'm going to have a better go because I'm actually going to pay attention to what it is I'm trying to do. Oh, I thought he changed colour. I thought I could eat him like Pac-Man. My bag. Oh, come on. What's that thing? Get in there. First screen cleared. Yes, Retro, you're getting better at this. So what do I think of the game? Well, it's very colourful. And every time you collect a cherry, it gets loader and loader in the, like a build-up sort of thing. Is that it? Am I done for? What's Retro Robin going to do that? Oh, top score! I can't be bothered to put my score in. Yeah, great. I loved it. Yeah, similar to Boulder Dash, but with a better AY sound. Worth a go. Mr. Do, that was, I like the Universal Copyright 1982. But yeah, should we move on to another game? 8 out of 10. That's fair enough, isn't it? You can't say better than that. I wouldn't have given it a smash, but did Crash give it a smash? Well, I won't tell you that because I don't want to ruin the magazine for you. So, moving on to the next file, we're going to have a look at a remake of this game, Bruce Lee. And I don't know why they've done this, because this game was perfect and it should not have changed, because they should have left it alone, but then they did, and now they've done it. We've got to go and review it, so that's what I'm going to do. This is the Retro Robin Show. Boom! Oh dear me. Well, it's loaded. I'm just going to press a key. I was just enjoying the text in the image. Oceans, Bruce Lee, the redesign, remake. We're going to stick to the original keys. Oh, this tune's bouncy, isn't it? It's a great Christmas AY bouncy tune, this is, isn't it, eh? Well, I've smartened up the graphics a little bit. But would I play this over the original? Well, it plays exactly the same. It's all the same screens except for the ending sequence. Which we'll come to well, we won't come to, because I'm not going to go and ruin it for you. But on the original one, when you got to the end, you saw them inside the temple, if you like, and there was like acres of gold. Fortunately, they've taken that bit out of it, which is a shame, because that little end tune and the acres of gold was like your achievement. Problem is with Bruce Lee, really, it was too easy. They could have had a wonderful opportunity to put an AY sound in, but they failed to do that. And also, they could have also made that little man a little bit more intelligent, perhaps be able to walk up ladders instead of just staying at the bottom. They failed to do that as well. So what's the point of making a remake if the only thing you're going to change is the graphics? Well, I suppose some people will like this sort of thing. So yeah, much the same screen, much the same game, much the same play. Graphically parts it's improved, but generally speaking it's no better. I prefer the original game. It's a little bit more colourful in parts, but if it ain't broke, in my opinion, you don't try and fix it. So what would I give the new remix version of Bruce Lee? Well, I'm not going to be kind to it, I'm afraid. I'm only going to give it a 7 out of 10 because it ain't all that. It's playable. It actually in parts runs a little bit smoother than Bruce Lee, you know. But you might disagree with that, so give it a go yourself and see what you think. And obviously, Crash got an interesting take on their review about this one. So let's move on to the next game. So we've got to go for probably the a booty remake. And as it's got AY sound, we'll play the AY sound, shall we? Okay, so we can have the demo mode. Yeah. So it's exactly the same, but it's you get a bouncing effect when you walk off the door, and if you click the right key, which we're going to do now, 7. I've got to remember I've got to open 7 first. You still get the bomb explosion. He moves very quickly, which I find hard to, because before you know it, and he sort of skids to turn round, you know what I mean? You sort of go in that direction, he doesn't turn straight away, he sort of slides forward slightly, which could be a little bit tricky, misleading if you like. What key have I got? Key number 6, where's number 6? See, I'm trying to turn around and before you know it, I've run into him, so the only key I've got left I can open is key number 2, isn't it? So let's get down there. And the thing is with this one, you can hide on the ladder. Well, I'll show you that now, shall we? Only thing I like about it is the way he bounces off the door. If you stay there, they can't get you and they'll just walk underneath you and you're safe. Which has made the game a little bit easier in that respect. And there's your next screen. Oh, key 4. Key 4. Key 5. We haven't need to bomb yet, have we? Yeah, but you move a lot quicker than them, so if you ain't careful, you can run into them, so... Well, once again, if it ain't broke, why fix it? It's an interesting take on Booty, but it's not the same. It's a remake, so I'm not going to give it the same sort of review. I'm just going to give that a 6 out of 10, but give it a go. You might feel differently. It's nice that it's got an AY sound in it, but apart from that, it ain't really made much difference. Getting in the Christmassy mood. We'll have a look at this one. She looks similar to her picture, doesn't she? She's quite a clever girl, this lady. She's Russian, Natasha. She does the coding, I believe. Sort of finds games and changes the graphics slightly and makes them run smoother, to be honest, because a lot of her games that I've seen now, they're sort of similar to old games, but with just slightly improved graphics. Usual keys. So what do I think of this game? Well, I'm well impressed. I'm well impressed for one thing, it runs really smoothly and you can take your time. You've got a time limit to get to the end of the level. Oh. I think we're going to have a bit of the A big guy, eh? No, I don't think we will. You've got spikes to jump over. It's nice to have a bit of silence. Colourful background, no real colour clash. Just clever coding just to avoid the colour clash. You should come across a monster in a minute. You get various power-ups. And they've all got a shield. which is probably useless. As you can see, you can still use energy. But with time is the essence, so we need to get towards the end. Well, it's a little bit like, it runs fairly smooth, it scrolls fairly smooth, and graphically it's very good indeed. And obviously it's a run and gun shoot 'em up, really, isn't it? And that's a death sequence. What do I think of it? I think it's brilliant. I really do. But did Crash agree in their latest annual? Well, buy it and find out. I'm starting to do a bit of the autofocus thing, so we'll sort that out in a minute. Okay, so let's move on to a re-review from 1986. And just reset the computer. So before we move on to the next game, QAY, let's talk a little bit about the new Crash Annual. Loved it, brilliant. Oh, not really too much. The smell of fresh printed paper is great, isn't it? The font is fine. The thickness of the pages are quite thick. It is exactly like the other Crash Annuals, but with later content. So is there anything I was particularly disappointed in? A little bit. Only one section really is, even though what Crash was for me as well was a great place to find the hacks and the cheats for the latest games as well. So as if you were stuck on a certain level, you'd have playing tips, and yeah, he's got playing tips in there. Nick, of course, doing his usual bit, a little bit older than what he was when he was in the magazine first time around, but he's more putting classic tips in. He's put classic tips in. Well, I'm not going to tell you too much about it. And of course, there's a little section on school days called as a playing tips, and there's some more classic tips put in there. But that's not what I want to see as well. I want to see the Spectrum Next games. I want to see this playing tips for them. I'd love to see the hacks and pokes for them. Is nobody doing that? Why not? We want to be able to cheat on Bagleys in space eventually and be able to have infinite amount of lives. We want as many pokes for that as we did for Jet Set Willy 2. That's the only disappointing thing about it, but generally speaking, there's nothing to be disappointed about. That's just me grumbling because I can't cheat. And I like to be able to cheat. So, the last review of today, back from 1986. Yes, we're going to 1988, August 1988. What's that, 1986? I've decided to go to August 1988. I was going to do one from 1986. I've changed it because the tap file wasn't working. So, Impossible Mission. They would have probably used Mission Impossible, but unfortunately they couldn't do that properly down to copyright issues. It would have cost you $8.99 back in the day. And of course it was to take, isn't it? Right. Playability 78%, graphics 82%, playability 88%, presentation 78%. You think I'll be getting better at this, wouldn't you? Addictive quality is 85%, overall rating 84%. Let's have a look at the game. And we'll load the tab file so as you can see the loading screen there for you. Impossible Mission 2. I think we know where this is leading. So the keys are Q, A, O, P and M. Yeah, okay, we know that. You're effectively this guy, and it's quite smooth, flicks between screen to screen, well, usually, but we're at the end screen. If you can look at that bit at the bottom there, yeah, there's a little red marker, tells you whereabouts you are in the map, and then you can go up and down in the lift, of course, but before we do that, you'll come to like a red door which you can't get past, so you've got to find a way to get through there. There's little mini lifts, and I've just walked over a trap which has just cost me a life, so I've got to gumball over that, have I? Done successfully. Oh, you can't do anything about that. Okay. Let's have a look at another game. Another level, sorry. Oh, this is going to be hard. I wonder if you can get into there and... you can, can't you? That's looking like I can gambol through there while I'm still on the lift. Yeah. And I can see there's a couple of mines there, so we've got to be very careful. So what I'm going to think about it. Just pause the airboy sound for a moment there. Do I agree with Crash? Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10 as well, because I didn't think it was brilliant, and you can die quite easily. But it started off well, but it just got gradually worse, and I got bored of playing it, to be quite honest. So maybe it's one for somebody else, but it's not for me. I thought it'd be a bit more like Saboteur when I first saw it, but it's nowhere near as good, so that's that one. So let's move on to today's feature of the show, and it's Commodore versus Spectrum. Which two games are we going to look at today? Or one game? I think we look at, what we do is we look at one game, and we'll do, if we get time, we'll do two, but yeah. So this is round number 5, and if you remember, it's 2 apiece at the moment. Spectrum brought it back, fortunately, with the use of battleships. Slightly better than the Commodore version of battleships, which was a little bit short-changed, because you got to see the ships actually being hit and sink on the horizon, where in the Commodore you saw your bombs going into nothing but pure water. Even though the Commodore had some great SID sound in there, it wasn't as good. So this is the Paperboy. We're going to compare this one to the Spectrum version by Elite, of course, and it's a classic game. You all remember it quite well. Spectrum version was truly amazing, so they've got a lot to compete with, haven't they? Let's have a look then at the Commodore version and see if it compares to the Spectrum version. Is it going to be better, or is it going to be worse? And with the magic of editing, we'll get straight to playing the game. Now we're nearly loaded. This is a quirk of the Commodore, that once you get the loading screen, towards the end of the game, when you're really loaded, takes it away and just leaves you lead. Turkey flavoured crisps. We had roast chicken, now you got roast turkey flavoured crisps. Christmassy. Come on, I want to play the game now. I have to wait, so should you. It's not easy making a show, you know, for YouTube, when you have to wait ages for each game to load because you're using tap files. And as always, the Retro Robbins show is run on real hardware. No emulation here, it's all genuine stuff. We're using an actual Commodore. Should have had my tea, shouldn't I? Atari games and Elite software. Monday. Right, slightly... Oh, crashed already. Oh, right. I've hit the first target. Oh, I missed him. Papers! Ooh, skateboard out. I've missed it. I'm going to have no houses left at this rate. Oh no, it's the top. Oh, you don't have a chance to react. I want another go. Your score was pathetic. Yes, that's true. Still Monday. You've got your dates wrong. Whoa, 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 whoa. You can't go up there, can you? Get in. He's putting me off. I'm going to get hit by a car. Oh, smashed the window. God, so Sinclair C5 got me again. Yes, I've got one again. Oh. Okay, I'm clearly rubbish at this. Oh, you crash anything, don't you? Let's try the Spectrum version, shall we? Oh, I've got my name up. I'm not going to bother with that. There's a loading screen of Paperboy briefly. The Spectrum version, of course, is very colourful. Keyboard, yeah, we'll go for one. And non-start game. Don't really have much sound in this, I'm afraid, but we'll give it a go. Slight difference with the Commodore, obviously you can see straight away. Commodore was a bit more graphically better. I've already missed the house. Oh, got one. And I'll tell you what, because I'm so used to playing the Spectrum one, I'm better than on the Spectrum version than I am the Commodore version. Oh come on, I delivered that, didn't I? This should be the easiest house to hit. And I missed it. Oh, them tech skills, they sort of desert me as you get older. Was it 2 for the price of 1 off it? Oh, I didn't think I was going to make that. Scrolling's pretty good. Oh, it's a motorbike. Looked like a Sinclair C5 on the Commodore version. Commodore with a Sinclair in it. How about that? Okay, well we can do a comparison now. We know where this is leading, don't we? With me dying horribly and making a right pig's ear of things. It's a tough call, but I've got to be fair. I could be biased, but I can't be. And I've got to be honest. The SID chip helps the Commodore's case, but unfortunately, and here comes my verdict. Yeah, Commodore win. They go ahead again 2-1. Yes, it's graphically better. I couldn't really judge that, to be honest. Couldn't really judge that. There was basically nothing between them. But because they got the SID sound and it was a blockier game, it looked better. This is well done for the Spectrum, but unfortunately it really was a tough decision. I really wanted to give it Spectrum, but I had to look in general. When I actually got further in before recording, I got a lot further because I'm honestly, it's easier for me to play them when I'm not concentrating on recording a show. I did find it scrolled slightly better. Yeah, so for that reason, there was nothing in it. I didn't want to make a tie. I had to give it a winner, and I gave it this time. Unfortunately, I gave it to Commodore. Commodore, go ahead. 3-2 now. So this is the Retro Robin Show. I hope you all enjoyed it, and of course, if you did, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell if you want to get more notifications. But you don't necessarily have to hit the bell. It's just as long as you subscribe, then they'll always hear from me to make more content for you. And this is the last show I make before Christmas. I think there's a couple more actually. I wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a prosperous and happy New Year. Let's have a better 2021 than we did out of 2020. Hopefully this is not the last show of 2020. There's a couple more to come. But obviously this is also my busiest time of the year, and I'm getting a little bit tired. Hence the reason why the editing gets a little bit sketchy this time of year. I'm usually a bit on in my bed. Yeah, but great stuff. Great to get me crash. I love that. Thank you very much to everybody involved in that, of course. In the meantime, it's goodbye from me. You have a nice working week or weekend. Take care for now.